Hey, what's up? Hey, everybody. I just wanted to come on here real quick. I have been reading this book right here, and by Logan Ury, and I've not. I'm. Let's see, where am I at? How far am I in here? I'm only up to chapter 4, but it's fascinating. Um, if you haven't read the book or you haven't listened to any of her talks, I highly recommend it. And if Logan Ury, if you happen to see this YouTube, I'd love to have you on my podcast, which is audio only. Anyway, so I'm getting to the section on, or I just finished the section on that little test that you take to see if you're a romanticizer or a maximizer or the other one, whatever that is. And it talks about how that not just social media, but also Disney movies and rom-coms kind of set you up and online dating, that there's always another option. So there's like all these challenges that modern dating is creating. There's this that she talks about in the book that, if you're on a date that you're not super excited about, you go to the bathroom and then you start swiping. And I know she works at Hinge. Logan does this the author of the book. She works at Hinge, and Hinge is cool. I'm sure, like you, like me, I've tried all the different dating sites, and really because of her, I've jumped on Hinge here in Kansas City to see how it works. The I'm a middle-aged guy, and so there's definitely challenges that go with just being a middle-aged person in the dating world, right? So if someone I'm 52, so if someone wants to still have kids, I'm really not down for that at my age, right? I don't wanna be, like, 90 when and having a kid graduate high school. Plus I have 2 adult kids. I've done that. I've been there. I've lived that life, and it was wonderful, and I think every, couple deserves that, or every person deserves that if they want that. So that criteria is obviously something that I have to deal with. Um, but there's so much in here, and I'm gonna do it. I wanted to come on live just because um I just did. I thought I'm gonna go on live real quick and just share a few things and see what you guys think. Make comments below, leave comments below, subscribe, like this video, and I'll continue to share as I read this book. I'll continue to share thoughts and ideas from this. But there's a couple things that she said that I'm curious about, and I'll just have to read some of this stuff because I don't um yeah. Let me just read a couple things. One is she talks about it's time to give up the idea of perfection. Let me just read what she says. It says it's time to realize that the package this person comes in might be different from what you were expecting. Maybe this person is shorter or taller or rounder or slimmer or darker or lighter or hairier or smoother than expected. She says that very narrow view of the person, that you think your soulmate, so to speak, uh, the very narrow view of this person looks or how this person looks holds you back from seeing the possibilities in front of you. I'm not saying I disagree with that, but the one thing that I know for me, and again, I'm still working through this, so maybe I'm too much of a romanticizer. I took the test, I'm a maximizer with my second really close to it is a romanticizer. In other words, yes, I love Disney movies. I love Hallmark movies. I love when people see each other from across the room and it's love at first sight, all that bullshit, right? I know logically that's not how all love stories work. Some do, right? So what I do for a living, who the hell are you? So I'm a wedding officiant and a wedding and a date coach and a relationship coach. And I have been in this world. Now, I was married for 25 years. That marriage came to an end. It's amicable. We have 2 adult children together. We get along. And so now in this kind of the second stage of my life, I do a lot of weddings per year. So I talk to a lot of couples and I always ask, how'd you meet? I always ask, how'd you meet? Met on Bumble, met on Tinder, met on Hinge, met on Plenty of Fish. I mean, you name the site, met on Match, eHarmony, so on and so forth. We met at the grocery store. A friend set us up. We were at the same school together. We were in elementary school together. I mean, we were gamers and met each other online. We she worked at a store and I asked her to help me find a gift and she helped me and then I went out on a date with her. I could literally go on for hours telling you all the different ways that people meet. And I mean, these are people I personally know because I'm officiating their wedding. And there is no rhyme or reason to that part, like how we meet. You can meet, you get out of your apartment or out of your house, out in the world, you can meet people all different kinds of ways. I personally have met people all different ways. I've asked women out at the grocery store. I've pulled into a parking spot and was walking into a store as someone else was walking out. And I started talking to him and we went out. I saw a person walking one time and I pulled over and jumped out of my car and said, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Can I take you out?" Whatever. So, like, it happens all kinds of ways. But the one thing that I'm not really sure what I think, I got to finish the book to know for sure. But can can love grow? And I don't know the answer to this, not yet, right? But can love grow when there's not an attraction? So, and I don't know how you are, but for me, it's I'm either attracted or I'm not. Like initially, I have not really had too many occasions where I found someone unattractive and then hanging out with them, they became attractive. I've really not experienced that. Now, granted, I was married for 25 years. I've only been single now for 3. I mean, I was single before. I was single before I got married, obviously. Got married in my 20s. So, I mean, I was single, but, that was not such a long time ago, but it was such a long time ago. I mean, I'm 52, so that was back in my 20s. That's a long time ago. And we it was a different world then. I mean, the '80s and the '90s, it was a different world. So, yeah, so I don't remember anyone that I didn't find attractive becoming attractive to me over time. Now, there were people that maybe I didn't really notice initially, and then when I got around them and noticed them, I was like, "Oh, they're cute. I like their laugh or they're funny," or like for sure that here's the thing, and no slam on Logan Ury here, but men and women are wired different. And I can't tell you how many women that I've talked to who are like, I don't think my husband's all that cute, but and I'm like, what? like, like, what? That, I mean, like, that just shocks me. I had a friend of mine tell me this the other day, and she's single and she's middle aged and she's dating. And she's like, yeah, I met this guy. She goes, "He's not like the best looking guy." She goes, "Not that great looking, but," and I was like, "How does that work?" Because for me as a guy, if if I find a woman unattractive, then I'm gonna struggle having an attraction to that woman. Just like I'm sure there are women that look at me and that find me unattractive. I mean, which is fine. I was recently told by a woman, she goes, "I don't like tattoos." And I was like, "Well, that count me out then, right?" So, yeah, like I said, I'm just now getting in the book. I haven't even thought this through clearly, and you're like, "You should have." But that's why I did live. That's why I think I'm gonna keep doing live. Maybe every couple days when as I get, in a few chapters more, keep getting into it. Because I the you know, the well, let me read a couple other things. So, well, here's the takeaways. This is fascinating. She says, "Our mindset matters. The ability to shift your mindset from soulmate to work it out beliefs could mean the difference between finding a life partner or not. People with soulmate beliefs reject promising partners because they don't match their vision for what love should look like and feel like." I don't know, Logan. I agree ish, but when I meet someone, if I'm just not attracted to them, and it's not always based on looks, and she talks about this in the book. I one of my favorite movies ever is Shallow Hal. What a great movie, and I have been very attracted to women who I guess would be, I guess people would say, or even they've said, they're a bigger girl, um, which is fine. Like, I don't for me, it's not about a certain look. It's not even about looks as much as it's just about attraction. I'm either attracted to someone or I'm not attracted to someone. And for me, that's like first base. If I'm attracted to you, then I want to go to second base. And I'm not talking sexually. I just mean like I want to continue to go out with you. I want to continue to hang around you. I want to continue to get to know you. I want to spend time together. But first base is I've got to have the attraction. Like I've got to look at you and find you attractive. Again, what is attractive to me and what's attractive to anybody else is so subjective. I mean, I've dated thin, heavy, muscular, super petite, bigger, brown hair, light hair, light skin, dark skin. I mean, just, and again, this is my fucking YouTube channel. So, I mean, I can only tell you what I think, in my experience is like, I don't have a type. I just don't looks wise. Now I have a type. I think I'm starting to notice I do have a type when it comes to emotions or intellect. Like I want to be able to have, intellectual conversations with someone. Um, I want to be able to, um, have fun with someone that's playful. I'm not into like people that are big time drinkers. Like I'm not a big drinker. I mean, I smoke a little weed, but I'm not just like people that want to go out every Friday and Saturday night and get drunk like that, that's just not my jam. Now, it might be your jam, which is fine. Then obviously that would be something you would incorporate into your dating life. I love going to concerts. I love going playing pickleball. I love going to the park. I mean, I love riding motorcycles, bike riding, hiking. So you just have to kind of know what's your jam, right? So anyway, let me continue to read this, and then I'll cut this video out or be done with it, and then we can reconvene for another day. All right. Um, People with work it out mindsets know that relationships take effort and that building a successful relationship is a process. Well, of course, but you got to be attracted to them first. You can't, at least I don't know. I don't think this is true that you can grow an attraction I think you can grow, yes, relationship, you can grow a relationship. Well, sure. Of course. I mean, I was married for 25 years. It's not like I don't understand that. But even with my ex, I looked at her and was attracted to her and interested in her when I saw her. Then we went on a date, then we talked, and then we spent time together, right? And then it grew, right? And then we spent 25 years together. So, so I'm not, I don't know how, I mean, Logan's, and I'm not, this isn't a slam. I'm just making an observation here. I don't even think she's married yet. I think she's engaged. So, I'd be curious to see where she is in 25 years, but I'd be very curious about it. Of course, this is a book about dating. It's not a book about long-term marriage, and that's fine. Um, so yeah, having been married for 25 years and a successful marriage. I know you're thinking, how could you say that? You're divorced. Well, it was successful for 24 of the 25 years, right? So there's that. Okay. Um, but the subtitle, The Surprising Science That Will Help You Find Love. uh, it- uh, she talks about growing love, not finding. And I'm like, but you got to find a person first. Like you got to find someone that you're compatible with, that you're interested in, that you're attracted to. I mean, let me say this. I think that the attraction comes first. Or an interest comes first. But yeah, I don't know, man. I can't see myself trying to build a relationship with someone that I'm not attracted to. All right. Number 2, she said, our belief in fate and fairy tales. Now, this I resonate with her on this. These are caused in part by Disney movies, rom-coms, and social media. It creates unrealistic expectations for finding and sustaining relationships. Remember, no one is perfect, including you. Well, of course, even Prince Charming has morning breath and takes shits and goes poop. Oh, man. All right. And the last one there, she says the happily ever after fallacy is mistaken. It's a mistaken idea that the hard work of love is finding someone. What she's saying is the hard work is in building a relationship. And yes, but it's challenging to find someone too, I think. At least someone that you're attracted to and that you're willing to invest the time. Right? It's just like it's like stocks, right? You don't just buy any stock and it's gonna grow. You have to start with the right stock, right? You have to get the right company. So I think that's much like dating. It's the very first step, and I have not thought all this through, so I might not redact it, but I might do another follow-up video to clarify what I'm saying here, especially after I read the comments and see what the interaction is. But you've gotta find someone that piques your interest, and that that's the start. And I know for me, I'm single, I'm 52, I'm dating around. I don't ask anyone out if I don't have an interest in them. Now, I've been curious before, like, I don't know if I'm attracted to him or not, but I'm curious enough about her to like to have coffee or to hang out a little bit. I mean, that's something, right? But if they're just unattractive to you, like it can't just work with anyone. So I don't know, man, because like she talks about in the book that dating's a new thing, and I get it. Matter of fact, I, you know, um, meaning it's a newer thing, and then online dating happened in '94. Back in 1994 is when online dating first came out, and then 1995 is when it started. I think it was like it took a year before it really started even kind of catching on. Oddly enough, I met like the owner of it might have been. I need to do some research on it, but back in the '90s, I met a founder of an online date company. I should go back and find out more information about that because I may have met the owner or the founder of one of the big dating sites back in '94. Um, because had coffee with him, and it might have been him and his wife. Anyway, uh, so there you go. I think, and maybe I'm misunderstanding the book, and that's again why I'm going to continue to come on and talk about this because I'm get the book. If you're single, get the book. It's great. Like it really is a good book. And I'm only 3 chapters in and it's been very thought provoking, very challenging, very helpful already. It's helped me already. It helped me. I've done some changes to my Hinge profile because of it. Um yeah, like it's definitely something it's definitely a book that I highly recommend if you're single, especially if you're finding dating to be, challenging, and I don't mean getting dates, right? I've getting a date doesn't seem to be all that challenging necessarily. It's, finding true love that seems to be more challenging. I think most people, I mean, maybe there's some people that say, I find it hard to even get a date. And, I'm a date coach too. I'm sure she's a lot more expensive than me. Look me up, message me, email me, Timmy@TimmyGibson.com, and I can help you get dates, getting dates. Like I can help people set up their profile, have a good bio, be more interesting and intriguing, and get you to the first date. But clearly, to get you into more dates, that would be another that'd be a whole nother process and a whole nother thing of coaching sessions for sure. Um, there was one other thing I wanted to read. Oh yeah, man, this book is so good. I'm gonna need to really think about it and do a better job of unpacking some stuff. But there was something. This is it. Okay, I'm gonna read this statement and then kind of my thoughts, and this will be the end of this video. She says, "Great relationships are built, not discovered." And though that statement is true, like I agree, you don't just stumble into a great relationship. Clearly, those are built. But because she talks about, we yearn for certainty, and I was thinking about that. I was like, "Am I yearning for certainty? I don't think so. I don't." Again, I might change my mind after I get deeper into this book. I don't think I'm looking for certainty. I'm just looking for someone that I'm attracted to. Like, so I put in here, I'm looking for certainty as much as it relates to I want to be attracted to someone. I want there to be a connection. Now attraction to me is kind of the first thing. You can look at someone and you're either attracted or you're not. You're either interested or you're not. After that comes connection, chemistry, compatibility. Those three things to me, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all those things. I think those things are important. And of course, I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe in attraction at first sight or interested at first sight. For sure. I for sure do believe in attraction at first sight or interested at first sight. Love, I mean, if, I've heard it said there's actually a book entitled, it's a super religious book though, I think. This, Love is a Decision. It was a book written a long time ago. And again, though I do agree with that, love is something that you commit to. It's intentional. You make a decision to do what love does. 100%. I agree with that. And love is, love isn't only a feeling. It can be little bit of a feeling, like, but it's not really love. I wouldn't even say that's love. I'd say attraction at first sight. Attraction is a feeling, right? Like, yes, you can look at someone and feel feelings that you would construe as love. You'd say, "Oh my gosh, I'm in love." Well, you might not be in love. You might just be attracted to, super interested in because of someone's physical presence or something that you saw in their mannerisms. But yeah, that's not love. Could it turn into love? Well, of course, right? We've all heard those stories. I mean, that's what makes for great movies. Someone sees someone in an elevator and they talk, they start out at the 20th floor, and by the first floor, they, have set a date. 6 months later, they're married. 9 months later, they have a kid, and it's happily ever after, white picket fence, yada, 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 right? Well, that does make for a great movie, and that is some people's story. But it they had to grow the relationship. The love wasn't just solidified right off the bat. Clearly, love is a process of getting to know one another. Anyway, I like I said, I came on here live just to throw this up real quick. Highly recommend this book. Um, I think it's on back order. I found it at an actual bookstore, Barnes and Noble. So good luck finding it. But I know that there are some samples of it on YouTube that you can audiobook samples, and there's lots of videos of Logan on doing YouTube videos that I think that you'll really like. So anyway, good book so far. I'll have more thoughts moving forward. I hope this helps you in your dating process to be more realistic in the dating process. Like I said, there's so much in this book. I need to like actually take down some notes and then communicate those things clearly because I'm just like scattered all over the place with this little video. But I do agree that if you have a magical Disney kind of a mindset or a perfection mindset, that's probably going to hinder you. And I know because I have those mindsets, and that's why I'm reading the book to shift me away from the magical unicorn. I'll see the woman at a grocery store and she'll see me, and then Celine Dion begins to sing, and the rest is history, right? I I logically know that that's not how it works, but I'm just gonna be honest that that's not always that's not exact. It's like I've been pre-programmed to be a little bit more bent on the magical fairy tale side than the super practical side. And I don't think I could ever agree with a full on just practical. I think that there's a mixture. Again, like if I look at someone and I'm not attracted or I'm just not well, I can't imagine that growing into anything awesome if I'm not at least interested in them initially. And it always it's like I said before, it's not always looks. It's just something about somebody, right? You can look at someone. That's why online dating is so challenging because that's what you're doing. You're just looking at someone. I'm just looking at their face and it's like, or yeah, ooh, or, ugh, right? So, and it's so judgmental. I mean, that's what online dating is. You're just judging people. And, I am the guy that reads the bio, but the bio's not gonna get me to swipe right or on Hinge to make a comment, but a bio alone, if I look at every picture and I'm like, "No," well, it doesn't matter what the bio says because 'cause I'm just not interested in them from what I can see. But if there's an interest, then I'll read the bio, and then I'll make my decision because I've looked at pictures and thought, "Wow, she's hot," and then I read the bio and I'm like, "Not." Right? So, I personally don't swipe right on just people I find attractive. I swipe a lot left, and of course, I say the swipe right because you understand that. On Hinge, you don't swipe, you just make a comment or like or exit. That's it. It's either I'm gonna exit this person away, you don't swipe, you just exit, or you make a comment, or you send them a rose, or you like it, like, that's it. And so, if I see someone and I think, "Ooh, okay, like, she's cute to me," Then I'll look at the rest of her pictures because sometimes I've liked a picture or I've seen a picture that I thought, wow, she looks cute. And then you scroll and you're like, okay, no. But, or, oh, wrong person. She's got 5 people in every picture. And I had to go look at every picture real close to make sure who was in every single picture. And maybe this is her profile. Okay. So, yeah, just because someone's attractive doesn't mean that they're going to get a swipe right. And I know this because I have a lot of female friends and we talk a lot about it. I have guy friends too. We all talk about this. Once I find the initial like, oh, okay, she's cute, or oh, that she seems interesting, then I'll read the bio and then I'll decide further. Yes, I'm gonna swipe right, make a comment, like this picture, or not. And I'm gonna end with this because I'm glad that she talks about this one little part because I agree with her wholeheartedly. There's a few things with online that will, even if I, for the most part, like their bio and even find them attractive, if they have one of those hard line, like if you voted for Biden, swipe left, or if you voted for Trump, swipe left, or if you're not blah 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 blah. I don't like those hard line like my so well, here's what I'm saying. And she says this, and she agrees with this. So I'm right. She said it. Um, to stay away from that kind of stuff. Stay away from that kind of language. I forget what she called that language, but to stay away from that kind of language because she said that you never know, even when it comes to, she says when it comes to oh, what do you call that stuff? When you set up your online thing, you're how many miles away, you know, is it a deal breaker on how tall they are or their age? The filters, there we go. She talks a lot about the filters. She says that, you know, expand your filters. She said because if you think you have to have a guy who's over 6 foot, when really you might meet a guy that's 5'10", and he'd be like a really great fit for you. Or and she mentions this, someone that like you're a world traveler, so you want to be with someone else who's a world traveler. Well, maybe the person hasn't traveled yet, but they want to travel. So if you just have a hard line and like they haven't traveled, no, left, swipe left. You could be missing out on a really good connection because your filters are so narrow. And as a date coach, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, put your age, go whatever you feel comfortable with, but go 10 years younger, 10 years older, depending on your age. If you're 21, don't go 10 years younger. Isn't that funny how that works? But if you're like for me, I'm 52. So I've gone, I expanded my age a little older and I've expanded it younger. And that way I'm meeting people in a bigger range rather than I'm 52, so I want to meet someone who's 49 or 53. Like, really? Um, so just some thoughts. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? And anything else you want to hear me talk about? Besides, I am going to continue to do videos on this book. Get it. Get the book. It's good. It's really good. I like it. All right. Peace, everybody.